motherfucking soy trek.
Well, here we are. Are we
Hello.
here? We are here. Cool. Good to be here. Welcome to Soy Trek. This is a podcast where we talk about Star Trek. My name is Britton.
And I am Pat.
And today we got some fun stuff in store for you. We'll be taking a trip to Great Uncle Mysterious's molestation cabin. So
Not again.
I
just spent like I put a mortgage. You gotta put out a new mortgage on my house to pay for the therapy
the molestation cabin.
pay for the therapy for the last time I went to that cabin.
It's kind of a state of mind, really. It's not so much a place. I mean, it is a physical place where he lives and molests. But, just a cabin in the woods there out in Minneshaw, Montana. Yeah, out in the woods, middle of nowhere there. Great place to molest.
It is
in the woods, no one can hear you molest. It's this kind of like the tagline.
I drove through Montana. There's just like nothing for miles in all directions.
I drove through Montana, and my dad hit a deer with my car.
Wow.
Sucked. Yeah.
That's funny because you could literally see like a deer from like probably 10 miles away. In Montana, there's nothing, just like flat, and you could just see for miles in all directions.
Well, it was at nighttime, and there's no like street lights, so we only saw it when it was coming right up on us.
How stupid is that deer then? It's just like it just can't like wait 5 seconds.
I mean, a lot of ungulates don't actually have like depth perception much at all. Like, I know like deer and moose don't have much depth perception, and so like that's the reason they get hit by cars so often, is they'll see something coming and they'll be like, oh, that's like, it's not moving, it's just there, and then walk out right in front of it and boom, decapitated.
I have hit several deer in my lifetime, so
I
know they're very dumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a deerial killer, if you will. Got him.
It was mostly in Maryland, but just driving, and deer would just like jump out of nowhere.
Yeah, just jump. Sure, like they're just like it's fucking hopeless, man. I don't know. I read David Foster Wallace's treatise on depression and suicide, and I fucking get it, man. I fucking get it. I don't think this world is for me, man. I don't want to be here.
After I hit him, like, and he's just like on the ground, like, I wrote a number for a crisis hotline and put it in his mouth. Here you go, bud.
Cool. Hell yeah. We love that. So yeah, the Soy Trek, welcome. Did you know that we have a Patreon?
I think I heard something about that.
You might have heard a thing or two about our Patreon. It's over at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. And you get there's a lot of cool things you can do on our Patreon. What can you do on our Patreon? Let's see. For as little as $2 a month, you can get all of our podcast episodes in one place at the same time, and that includes the Media Dungeon, which is our movie podcast, Soy Trek, which is this podcast, Prison Breakdown, which is an academic prison podcast, My Wife, Dumb Idiot Bullshit, and Getting Ahead of Bucket Cast, all the back catalogs for those shows. They're all up in there. Let's see. You can help keep us editorially independent and ad-free. That's always helpful. That's always really cool. And I hate hearing ads on podcasts. And if you don't like ads, maybe that's a reason you're listening to us. You're like, hey, these fellas, we don't have ads. I like that. I like the cut of that jib.
We ain't trying to sell you nothing.
Nothing. We don't. No, I mean, well, we were trying to sell you our merch, but then Paramount came in and they're like, "Nuh-uh, no, you don't."
I don't think so.
Yeah, so we got our shit pushed in by corporate America. Yeah, great, cool.
Did you ever get your shit pushed in?
What's
I love that scene from what was it? What movie was that?
I don't know.
Training Day.
Oh,
yeah, Training Day.
I mean, Anal Training Day.
Yeah. I think it was because those guys like Denzel Washington drops that dude off with the guys, and they're just like, "You gotta get your shit pushed in."
That's pretty cool, dude. So, what else for $2 a month? Oh, yeah, you can vote on what movie or Star Trek we watch every single week. I think that's pretty fun. For $5 a month, we say thank you and give a shout out to people just like, I'm going to use the effects this time. Are we ready? This is going to be the most annoying one, maybe. Ever. Here we go. Nathan G. Nathan G. Nathan Papa G. Star Trek. Ethan Adams. Ethan Adams. Ethan Adams. Abigail Simpson. Abigail Simpson. Abigail Simpson. Gursky. 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 Kyle Simmons. Kyle Simmons. Nick Samar. Shane Samar. Shane Samar. Cabrera. Cabrera. Phil Tanny. Dylan West. Dylan West. Jordan Lamb. Elizabeth Luna Dahlia, Ted Jody, Shrimp God, Jim Williams, Jim Mayo, Skeptic, Star Trek, former good friends, at the Hate Speech Pod. I'm sorry.
Wow, that was wonderful.
that was I believe the definition of the word cacophony. That was a lot.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like when we banish you to the zone.
Yeah, that is definitely that's definitely like in the future, like they will use that as a torture. Like that is the torture device they will use. Yeah, it's just us announcing our patrons.
Yeah, that's what I imagined. Like the negative zone in Superman was like when Zod was in there.
Fucking Zod. Yikes. That fried my brain. I'm not prepared to do this podcast anymore. So for $10 a month, you get access to the Media Dungeon, which is my private movie server and show server where I need to get the newest episode of Dune Prophecy, put it up on there. I think a new one came out this week.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
It's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be pretty good. And it's about like the Bene Gesserit, I guess, and shit, which is pretty cool. I like the Bene Gesserit. There's some cool meat on that bone. You know what I'm saying? There's some meat on that bone.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. They like the meat on the bone, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
And the marrow that's in the bone that makes the super babies.
I don't know about that. But so for $20 a month, you get access to merch. So we send out merch every month, and I need to. I just ordered the blanks. I'm gonna be sending out hoodies. Still haven't decided what design exactly. Maybe Slut Trek hoodies. I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe a cool design with a lot of different stuff going on.
And do the penis, Mr. Yuck stickers.
Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, that's right. You sent those, didn't you? Where are those? I need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Those are cool. So yeah, that's our Patreon at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. Go check it out. 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 Check it out.
Don't take my word for it.
Check it out. 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 What are we doing?
Coming to you from the negative zone.
I don't even know what we're doing anymore. This podcast is off the rails. So let's
Off the damn rails.
Off the damn rails. It's off the rails on the crazy train. The crazy anal training day. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Call back. I.
I wonder if that was like the gay porn parody of Training Day, Anal Training Day.
Oh, it has to have been, right? Like,
yeah, I mean that's too perfect. If not, I think you have like a little side project you can start working on. Like you can write the script for that anal training day.
Anal training day, yeah.
Like that movie won Denzel the Oscar, right? So
it did. It won an Academy Award. Pretty good movie.
So yeah. So it's like you can probably clean up at the AVN Awards with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, do they want you to clean up?
Depends on if you're nasty.
Yeah, cool. So, you want to jump into some Star Trek?
Let's do it.
That's how a 3-year-old with like 11 teeth says Star Trek. Star Trek. That's how PJ would say it in Family Circus. Like he's Paschetti and Star Trek. Shut the fuck up, PJ. Don't speak until you learn.
It's kind of how like
English.
the 22-year-old I work with says Star Trek.
Star Trek.
He gets really excited when he talks. You know, he like asks me about the Star Trek stickers in my car, and he was wearing the other day. Like he's really driving me crazy, but I think he's trying to get on my good side. He wore a T-shirt, like he wore a sweatshirt for a company called like Picard Tilling, and I was wondering if he was trying to be like,
Right.
But I didn't comment on it. I was just like, no. You do not win my goodwill that way.
Cool.
You drive me insane.
Or he just probably wants to give you a hand job. That's usually what I assume from most of my coworkers. So I'm like, fine, just give me a hand job. They come over to my little station and they're like, hey, I think this mail's for you. I'm like, fine, just give me a hand job. And they're like, excuse me? Boss
like,
comes
fine,
over.
I'll put my dick in the box.
Hey, we need to talk about that that inclusion training. Yeah, fine. Just give me a hand job. You're fired.
Sexual harassment training. All right, give me a hand job.
Give me a hand job. No, that's what I learned. That's what I learned. What not to say. that's.
I don't think you could really like be proud of yourself at work until like something that you do ends up in a training video.
Right. Exactly.
That's a cautionary tale.
Right. Until then, like you're not a legend at work. Like you're not a legend at work until they have a rule that is based on something you did.
Yeah. In the recreation, they have an actor that looks somewhat like you.
Mm-hmm.
just like being like, well, you have to give me a hand job. I don't think so, Britt.
Well, too bad for you. So you want to talk about some Star Trek? You want to dive into what we're talking about this week?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we've got just 3 episodes left, starting today.
Oh, wow.
Of Star Trek Lower Decks. We are on season 5. It's final season, episode 8 out of 10. This one is called Upper Deckers. Upper Decks. It was released
it's called Upper Deckers.
Oh, is it called Upper Deckers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't write it down.
Because according to, MacGruber, the movie, in Upper Deckers, when you take a poop and the top part of the toilet.
Oh.
And that's called an upper decker.
Oh, interesting. Also, what you call it when you take a poop on the top bunk of a bunk bed?
Takes me back to
camp.
Sleepaway camp.
All right. Takes me back to Boy Scout camp, leaving an upper decker for everyone to find later. And it wasn't even in my cabin.
Just blasting through the thin mattress that they give you, and just like
yeah, just
it's like it works as a coffee filter. Just pure shit. Pure stuff just comes out, drips on the person underneath.
Just like coffee. Why is coffee dripping from the top mattress? So this episode came out on December 5th, 2024, which was yesterday by our time. This is the 48th episode of Lower Decks overall, and it is the 946th episode of Star Trek overall. This one was written by Colin Crawford, who wrote only one other episode of the series, which was Parth Ferengi's Heart Place, which was a delightful episode. I really enjoyed that one. And he used to write for
and perfect name, perfect title.
Yeah, really perfect title. He also used to write for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and a couple other Colbert projects. So a Colbert prodigy, if you will. This one was directed by Bob Suarez, who is the director of 12 episodes of Lower Decks, including Crisis Point, A Wedge Douche, A Few Badgies More, and Shades of Green. One of Lower Decks' most tenured directors by far. Yeah. You consider, like out of 50 episodes, he's directed 12. So he's directed I don't know, almost a quarter of the entire series, which is pretty, something to brag about.
Wow.
Yeah. So we open on Bungar 5, the Bagoon feeding ground. And Cerritos is flying outside while the lower deckers are carving pumpkins. Mariner walks in, covered in paint, and she says she got trapped in a painting on an away mission. And the others are jealous because they've always wanted to get trapped in a painting. Does sound pretty cool. Mariner says on other ships, the upper deckers get in trouble instead of the lower deckers, and Rutherford reveals his V'ger pumpkin, which is pretty sick. If you had
pretty good.
What would you carve into a pumpkin, Star Trek related, if you had to? What?
I think it'd be fun to put 2 other smaller pumpkins on the sides and then just do a big Ferengi face.
Oh, that's interesting. Next question: since they're doing pumpkins based on their workplace, what pumpkin would you carve for your workplace?
Ooh, jeez. Probably a gun in my mouth.
It's Pat, I don't really understand what you did there with the pumpkin. Well, it's a gun that I carved out of walking to the gun store and
I just have a whole sequence of images. It's almost like a church, like the Stations of the Cross had put into stained glass, but it's just like me buying a gun, me taking it to work, me writing "This is all your fault" on the floor with my own blood, me blowing my brains out.
That'd be great. That would be such a boss move to like be forced to carve pumpkins for work, and all you carve in yours is "This is all your fault."
This is all your fault.
This is all your fault. Like how more cryptic and insane can you get? Like HR would immediately be like, "We need to talk." Like, what do you mean by this? And they're like, "I don't know. It's just words that came to me."
Today, yesterday I did I found a all activities are monitored by video camera sign, and I hung it up in the bathroom. Just to mess with
Now, next just scratch into the mirror. This is all your fault.
This is all your fault.
For some reason, there is nothing funnier to just leave randomly around the workplace. And this is all your fault. Like, yeah, everyone's going to think someone's going to shoot up the building. But since someone's not, it's just funny.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, get people wondering what it means.
It's just like
messages.
Like calling someone and being like, "Don't come to school tomorrow." Or like, "I don't go to school." And you're like, "Okay, well, I guess that's taken care of then." Click. Like,
I'm just writing random dates everywhere. Just like March 3rd, 2025.
Yeah, or just like telling random strangers different dates. Just like going up to them and staring at them and be like, "Oh my God, February 21st, 2025.
What?
And then just walk
That's my
away.
birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! even next year. I mean, given my druthers, that you won't have one next year. No.
I won't have one. It's in 2 months.
I'm gonna carve the pumpkin and take myself out.
What's funny is like we're having our Christmas party in February.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I get maybe having it like right after the holiday season if like you're too busy during the holiday season, but February? I mean, what are they counting like President's Day as a holiday and like Valentine's Day?
I guess so. It's just gonna be funny to have like Christmas again, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna give you any presents?
I have no idea. Like my first year at this place, so we'll see what their Christmas parties are like.
Are you gonna do like a Marilyn Monroe type, like "Merry Christmas, Mr. CEO"? Merry Christmas. Now let me suck your dick. Let me suck your dick, dude.
Just I'm wearing mascara and it's just like running down my face. I'm just crying. Lipstick hastily flows on my mouth.
Merry Christmas, Mr. C. Why are you making me do this? We don't want you to do this. Stop.
No one asked you to. What are you
Why
doing?
are you all making me do this? Yeah. Where were we? Oh, yeah. So Mariner and Boimler are walking through a corridor when Freeman walks through with Stevens, who's like keeping her schedule. And Freeman says nothing would ever happen without the bridge crew. Opening credits at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Very brief, cold open. Didn't really give us a whole lot of hints as to what was happening, but that's fine. So,
yeah, I mean, I like how it's like the inverse of the Lower Decks episode of TNG.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
even less of our main cast.
Right. And like the inverse of the Lower Decks episode of TNG is just any episode of TNG that's not that episode.
Yeah.
So when we come back, Ransom is showing Freeman some information about an officer transforming into an ape-like creature, like a Cro-Magnon type. And they say that like she both like her DNA both went into the future and also like devolved at the same time. One of the first cases to both evolve and devolve simultaneously. So Freeman asked Tiana to work on her pain management and anesthetic skills, much to her chagrin.
You gotta think about it. That's kind of what they did in fuck, what was the name? Name escapes me. When Janeway and Paris became lizards.
Oh, Threshold.
Supposedly
Threshold,
they evolved.
Yeah,
sure.
Threshold.
Supposedly they evolved, but they kind of devolved into just like a stupid lizard creature.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think those kind of lizard creatures are
like
the
that's
ones?
Like the natural.
Yeah, that's
it's like that's supposed to be the natural evolution of a human being into that stupid lizard.
I think that's more
doesn't make any sense.
The natural evolution of a government official.
Yeah. I think they've messed up somewhere, but who knows?
So, security reports some chatter from an insectoid species that hates being complimented. Suddenly, Shax sees a hallucination of himself with a snake tongue. He requests to leave immediately and storms out. Engineering reports stabilizing some rocks, and the crew does a group chant. Meeting over.
I love their group chant.
Indeed. It was pretty good. It was like, what was it? It was some like very sports team, like Cerritos, something we can't lose, ha, or some shit. It was very silly. So we get a first officer's log from Ransom, and they have a foreign dignitary visiting who wants to see like this alien cow type thing. It's like a big cow bug thing. But an asteroid hits the deck, and the cow-like creature cloaks and rolls around the shuttle bay, knocking things over. It reminds Ransom of a story, which he starts telling as the space cow causes destruction all over the ship. Later, Ransom is still telling the story, while the space cow wreaks destruction everywhere. So, with Shax, he has a hallucination of a younger version of himself, again, who takes him back to a war memory at the Battle of Tamposa. A ghost of him challenges him, and he fights himself, I guess. So
yeah, I like how he meditates. He's just like, and he meditates, and he's just like, "You can't hurt me," or he's like, "Yes, I can." He does an astral projection thing to just do spirit fighting.
Hell yeah! So over with Billups, he talks about how he got a tummy ache, but he's feeling better now. An ensign approaches him and asks him to make a repair, but behind the panel is a catastrophic failure that he needs to fix, something that he jury-rigged from long ago that is now not working. So, the ensign asks what happens if she dies, helping him fix this, and Billups says everybody dies, but it's engineers who really get to live. Which I thought was a pretty fun line.
I like his attitude with that. I thought it was nice.
Yeah. So in medical, Tiana is grumpy due to Freeman's feedback, and the chatty gay doctor gives her lip about her high pain tolerance. And Tiana decides she needs to update the pain chart. She asks the guy to really hurt her and to rearrange her guts, which was definitely a choice by the writer.
Yes. Yeah, that was an interesting choice of words.
Yeah, she's like, "Go ahead, rearrange my guts," and I'm like, "Oh my word!" Like,
they were also in the last episode. They were also having Tindy say lots of like sexual innuendos. It's like, "Oh, her big melons and stuff."
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
the big melon thing was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that this season. It's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the bar, the ensign that turned into the caveman plays the sousaphone, and Freeman claps. Next, Freeman goes to a crew member's fertility event, and his insides explode.
Yeah, I thought you were human. just like all those tendrils just explode out of them.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, next, Freeman is watching a junior lieutenant's monologue that seemingly keeps going on forever. But elsewhere, there is a ship lurking, watching the Cerritos. Next, we get a first officer's log from Ransom, where he says the creature study has gone sideways, and space cows are invading the shuttle bay now. Ransom resorts to Plan B, which is just simply exercising. And he just starts lifting, and it's pretty fun. So, with Billups, more problems keep popping up, and an AI defense golem eats him. With Tiana, the pain threshold hasn't been yet met, so she asks for more pain. And over with Shax, he's fighting a dream of a horde of Cardassian occupiers, which is pretty cool and pretty badass.
That was sick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They're not warriors, you're occupiers.
Yeah, it was just like tearing them apart and like breaking their necks and shit, and being political about it. It was cool.
Like Shax's story was definitely my favorite. I don't know, Shax is one of my favorite characters on this, just because.
Same here. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, he's just a fun character.
Big oafs.
And he's like mostly a callback to like DS9, which I really like.
Yeah, yeah, and also like his whole meditation and warrior type thing is very reminiscent of like Worf.
Yeah, definitely.
So Worf did a lot of that, and yeah,
we love that. So, back with Ransom, his exercise is not working, and the bug cow things are everywhere. So, Freeman comes upon the foreign dignitary, who's voiced by Paul F. Tompkins, and asks if the research is going as planned. But his face is falling off, and he mutates into a giant bug-like creature. They say they want the space cow and are targeting their senior officers with a strike team. Meanwhile, Ransom is taking a nap after exercising too hard. So the bug-like infiltrators reveal themselves to be the Clickets, and they're about to take Freeman when the caveman ensign saves her. So
yes, armed with a sousaphone.
Yes, yeah, which is a great weapon to have, I think. I'd love to be saved by a sousaphone. No one really plays a sousaphone anymore. I think it's probably because the name is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing I appreciate about like Star Trek is in the future people are just still playing those classical instruments. No real like future like tom-toms or anything else. That would be funny. Wait, isn't there an episode where Boimler's playing the tom-toms?
For Boimler's playing the tom-toms.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, because like I guess that would be considered classical instrument to them.
Right.
Just like
the electric guitar is like a classical instrument to them. Like so, would like a synthesizer.
Yeah, they need a Stereocaster, the one of those things with like the honking horns and all that stuff. Like,
oh yeah, those things are cool as fuck. Like the things they made cartoon music with.
Yeah,
hell yeah. So, with Billups, he's trapped in a tube, dying. The ensign he's working with wants to save him, but he says this is how all engineers want to die, and it's very reminiscent of like Spock in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. He says, this is how all engineers want to die, at work in a tube, which I thought was fun. She uses an axe to start breaking him out, and he's like, "Wait, that axe is for emergencies only." And she's like, "What constitutes an emergency to you?" And she breaks him out, and they use some engineering talks to fix whatever is going on. So next, back in the shuttle bay, the Beta and Delta shift lower deckers beat up the Clickets and all agree that Ransom is the worst, and commiserate about him and agree to work together to round up the space cowbugs just to spite Ransom. So they are getting along despite him being absentee. So over in a corridor, a Clicket corners Freeman and Stevens, but the medbay door opens and Tiana steps out covered in bandages, but still not having reached the pain threshold. The Clicket shoots her, and she goes down, but comes right back up, and he says, "Well, that was set to kill." And she says, "So am I," and mutilates him. And it was honestly an amazing moment. I really enjoyed the shit out of it.
Also, I love this episode because it makes more sense why Shax and her are an item.
Right.
Because they're very similar.
Right.
Like,
and also,
just like,
you know, if you have a high pain threshold and you want a little bit of pain, you gotta get a big daddy.
Yeah. Big old hunky boy.
So, big old muscle daddy. In Shax's dream, he kills the last Cardassian, and his soul jumps back into his body. And as killing Cardassians in his dream, so does he kill the Clickets infiltrating his room. Have you ever accidentally killed someone while having a dream?
No. I think my life would be gone in a completely different trajectory if that had happened.
Yeah. You ever accidentally give yourself a hand job while having a dream?
Yes.
That's close enough. I mean, you wasted a bunch of sperm, which is, according to the Catholic, it's like murder, according to the Catholics, wasting your sperm. So a nocturnal emission is practically killing someone in your dreams, Pat.
It's killing a whole bunch of them.
It's a real genocide. Every time you
At least
masturbate,
not anymore.
Every time you masturbate, it's genocide.
Well, technically not anymore. It's because of the vasectomy. So
the vasectomy is an ultimate genocide, Patrick.
Yeah, it is. And you know who denied my coverage for my vasectomy?
United
Healthcare.
Hell yeah, cool. Well, good for them. Hope nothing bad happens to their CEO.
This is recorded.
December 1st, 2024. We love some things in life. Some things are good. Some things are good. That's all I'm going to say. Some things are good. So the Clickets start to raid the bridge, and their leader hails Freeman, gloating in his success. Suddenly, Freeman remembers the morning briefing and what Shax talked about the insectoid species that hates being complimented. And so she starts complimenting them, much to their detriment. The leader transports everybody out, and they warp away. With the Delta and Beta shifters, they come together and usher out the space cowbug successfully. They reminisce together, and one of them says, "Nothing brings people together like a mutual enemy," which I think is true, especially if it's your boss. Like, that's how we became friends. That's the reason
It's true.
Yeah, like we would have probably been friends anyway, because we kind of, we're in the same area, and we're, fairly similar sense of humor and stuff. However, hating our boss, Farron Lining, definitely helped.
Farron, yeah. Farron definitely, I think, brought everyone, he's sort of like the United Healthcare CEO, where, everyone, regardless of their background and political affiliation, can come together.
Yeah.
And unite against their hatred against him.
God, no, that dude, like, seriously, just how shitty of a boss he was, like, changed me deeply and fundamentally as a person. Like, I don't think I would be like politically as far left if not for him, because like his bullshit, like his bullshit fucking made me like really believe in unions, and through unions I started to believe in syndicalism. Syndicalism led to socialism. Socialism led to communism. Like Farron Lining, literally, he radicalized me, and I don't think he knows it, and I don't think I knew it until I was thinking about it like a few months ago. I'm like, yeah, why do I have like the views I have? And I like kept on going back further and further, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course I believe in unions, but why do I believe in unions? And I'm like, well, because I was in a really shitty non-union job with like the shittiest boss of all time. I'm like, wait a second, like, is that like one of the main genesis points of my politics, is just like working at Whole Foods and having the shittiest fucking boss of all time? And I like tried to think back further. I'm like, no, honestly, I think that's it. So,
and plus, like, if you also then look at like Whole Foods as a company itself, that was owned by a weird libertarian guy in the first place, and just like
now it's owned by another weird libertarian guy.
Yeah, God. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they keep winning until now. Now they can be afraid.
Yep. You know, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. Just
doesn't take much.
God, I should put like click
the
click
contraption.
Click, I should put like click click boom on the soundboard. So like, it doesn't take much. Click, click, boom, coming down from the stereo.
Oh, you used to have it.
I mean, I have this, which is good. But,
there you go. Yeah. Oh, but you mean the click, click, boom.
Yeah, this is the CEO sound. So, after all the complimenting, the leader of the bug people transports everyone out and they warp away. So they are defeated. Yay! So with the Delta and Beta shifters, they come together and usher out the space cowbug successfully. They reminisce together, and one of them says, "Nothing brings people together like a mutual enemy." And we already went through that. So they hit the bar together as friends, having found common ground and hating their shitty boss. Ransom wakes up, revealing this was his plan all along. He starts a log about it, but one of the lower deckers tells him she knows he's just pretending to be an idiot to help people, but promises not to tell. Plus, no one would ever believe her because everyone thinks he's a doofus. Which made me wonder, was Farron Lining playing 4D chess in space against us?
No.
No, he really wasn't.
Fortunately, Farron is...
I mean, he would have he would have had to have sat down at the computer and he's like, gee, how do I pretend to be functionally illiterate? And like, fucking typed out the dumbest letter I've ever read, like at least once a week. And like, you can't teach that kind of stupid. You can't like make up that kind of stupid. Like,
and plus, even though he is kind of like Ransom, where I don't know if you saw him towards the end, but I think he started definitely juicing.
Oh yeah.
He started getting
No, when he was like hanging out more with Rob, he was definitely juicing also.
Yeah. Yeah, he was juicing definitely. And so he's kind of like that in one way, but I don't think he doesn't have any sort of like self-awareness. So he's not like Ransom. Like Ransom seems like he's nominally self-aware of himself, and that especially through this, like he's like, oh yeah, I act like a buffoon to cause people to get people a common enemy.
That's crazy. Why would you juice when you're like 5'2"? Like you're just gonna look weirder and weirder.
I mean, look at Joe Rogan, you know.
I know, and that's the thing is like if you're like that little, like don't try to be big. Just like do the Paul Simon thing and get a fucking talent. Like, come on.
I don't know. I've noticed that with a lot of short guys. Like I remember in Baltimore, I had a friend whose dad was 5 feet tall, but he could lift a back end of a car over his head. But also, like, that's not that far if you think about it.
And also, like, his center of gravity is like really low too, which is helpful.
It was really funny because like the first time I met him, he was in like this massive truck. And he pulled up alongside me. He's like, "Hey," and then he got out of the car. And like I was almost a full foot taller than him.
Like, oh, you're a little wee fella, aren't you? You're just a leprechaun.
Yeah, I was just like,
you
but
look
in the
lucky.
truck, like he did have big arms and stuff, so he did look like a huge dude. Like I thought he was gonna come out and look like fucking Lou Ferrigno or something, but he got out and when he got out, I was like, it was almost comical how much larger I was than him.
You should have laughed, and then we're like, what? And we're like, nothing. Nothing. Just stuff's funny. I don't know.
Yeah, we love our short kings though.
No, we do. We love our manlets. They're.
But also, there is a difference between a short king and then manlet. Because
huge.
This
difference.
guy was definitely a manlet.
Yeah. Manlets are doing it because of insecurity. Short kings just be short kings. They're doing what they do because they like doing it.
Yeah, short kings are just like good natured, and they know they're fine. They don't let that define them.
Right. They realize that you're only as big as how you treat other people. That's what makes a short king.
Exactly.
And
that's why in a lot of people's eyes, short kings are giants.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And also, like their cocks always look proportionally like way bigger. It's great. if they have cocks, they plenty of short kings do be having pussies, and we love that. We love that.
Oh yeah,
we love that, but not in a chaser way. But we love that. So with Billups, him and the ensign have the Corps working together again. So they overcame the challenges. He and she calls him by his first name, but he institutes a first names only on the brink of death rule, which I think is I like that. Another ensign comes to him asking.
I do love his what was his name again? It was like Anna something or other.
I don't even remember. Yeah, it was not a real name. So another ensign comes to him asking about a repair, and he's disheveled but ready to go. So Freeman is wrapping up for the day when Admiral Freeman, her husband, shows up with flowers. Now, I didn't realize this, but he's played by legendary voice actor Phil LaMarr, who was on Mad TV, but is more notable for stuff like being Samurai Jack, and being Hermes Conrad in Futurama. Like he's all over the place with voice acting.
Pretty sure he was Static Shock as well.
Yeah, he was in like Teen Titans. He's been in a bunch of shit. So Stevens, unbeknownst to her, put time on her schedule so her and her husband could have a romantic dinner. Aww. They kiss, and Stevens looks very sweet here. It was kind of heartwarming. I dug it. So in the bar, Dr. Miglimo sits down and tells Shax that he stormed out of the meeting rather quickly earlier, and Shax says it was due to the usual fight with the astral projection of his unresolved rage from the occupation, which I thought was really great joke. Miglimo tells him therapy can arm him with more weapons for his metaphysical battles, and Shax is in, pounding the table and knocking over Tiana's hot chowder, making her realize they need to stock up on more pain meds. The lower deckers come in, and Mariner says nothing happens when they're not around. T'Lyn suggests maybe the upper deckers are the leads of their own stories when they're not around. And everyone says they saw her dad on the ship, which she says is impossible. And it's kind of weird. He wouldn't just like say hello to his daughter if he's visiting. I don't know, but all right.
Well, he wants to have the romantic getaway.
So say hi to your daughter first and then fuck your wife. Like, what are you doing? Come on.
No, that would ruin the mood. You want to do the wife first, then say hi to the daughter.
Really? But then she's gonna be like, "Dad, why do you smell like cum?" And he's gonna be like, "Whoa.
Hey, they do this. They do the sonic shower inside the holodeck. Like,
oh, okay, that's
they
fair.
probably have a little. They probably have a sounding one you can put in your dick hole and get all the residue out.
Someone told me
See
the
a
other
pee don't
day.
split in half.
Someone told me I have a really big dick hole the other day, and I was like, "Huh. All right, all right, cool.
I think.
All right.
I tell you how, like, I had a friend that worked at a men's club, and like this guy brought in his sounding kit, and the guy showed him his dick, and like he was able to stick his whole thumb in his dick hole.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. That's not cool. No, that's cool, I guess, if you're into that. I don't know, man. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
Definitely not my thing.
The world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
That's true.
It might be right for you, may not be right for some.
You mean the world don't move to the beat of just one thumb?
What may be right for you may not get the other to come.
World doesn't move to the beat of just one thumb.
Well, the world don't move to the beat of just one thumb.
So
perfect.
So Talin makes a cute joke at Mariner's expense, and that's the end of the episode. The end. What do you think?
I like this episode a lot. Like, I'm glad we got a look at like our bridge crew, and like I thought it was really fun. I love Shax, love Tiana, like two of my favorite bridge characters, and yeah, I thought I was laughing the entire time.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I like this one
How
a
about
lot.
yourself?
I'd give this a solid like 7.5 out of 10. It was a good episode. Definitely far above average. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. Good references here and there. A lot of funny little jokes, little quips, stuff like that.
I love Shax being like, you know, like you're not warriors, you're occupiers. And it's like, I wonder if this could have any current relevance to anything happening today in the world.
One might ask that.
That's very, yeah. It's like probably the only media that could have like a message like this right now, like that I know of, that's had any sort of like anti-occupation sort of message to it.
Right. That's unfortunate.
Even though it's a fictional occupation, it's still interesting to include that.
Still real to me, god damn it.
It's still real to me.
Yeah, this is a good episode though. I would recommend it. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say on it. You?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Well, I guess that's a great place for us to leave it. Thanks for hanging with us, Trekkers. Soyagers. Man, I'm like all messed up. I'm coming down with something for sure. Like, I don't know. I've got like gas.
I just watched The Stand.
The Stand?
Yeah.
What's that got to do
from
with
1994?
What?
Oh, it's like that's where it's a Stephen King novel where super flu wipes out 99.9% of all humanity.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with me coming down with something? Wait, they made a movie of that in 94?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Miniseries.
No shit. Huh. I wasn't aware. Is it on my server?
Yeah, it has a lot of people, and it has like Molly Ringwald, Gary Sinise,
Uncle Dan.
Also has Boothby from Star Trek. He's in it. course, there's a lot of people from Star Trek. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of interesting one. Also, Rob Lowe's in it.
Cool. Love. Wait,
Yeah.
do we love Lowe? I don't know. He like fucked a 16-year-old when he was
Hard to
like
say.
30 or something. I don't know.
Yikes.
Yeah. Not great. Not great. Yeah. Thanks for hanging with us, Soyagers. Be well, travel safe, and check out Upper Decker.
Upper Decks. Yeah, I was wrong. It is Upper Decks.
Fair.
All right. Well, thanks for trekking with the Soy Boys, Girls, and Other Widdly Beans.
Hang dong and shocker.
And shocker.
Soy, 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 soy. Soy, 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 soy.